Ready?
Yeah. Happy Monday, everybody. This is Boxing Talk with Emperor Michael. Anyways, we've got a lot to talk about. Boxing has been eventful, very eventful. First of all, where should we start? The Whyte Fury press birds. What do you think, Michael? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I'll say something about myself quickly, and I hope people believe me. I'm always honest in the way I talk. I never lie about things. I don't want it to look like I'm saying this in hindsight. But if you asked me beforehand, yeah, I would have guessed Top Rank are probably going to win the bid. Because, look, Bob Arum's been around for decades. I'm sure he's got plenty of money saved up. And obviously, it would have been a guess. But obviously, if you've got Tyson Fury, the world's best heavyweight, you're not really going to want to lose purse bids to someone else. And obviously, Bob Arum's he's like 90 now, so he's not really going to save the money up. So that's just my guess.
Okay.
So as far as I'm aware, I think Top Rank are the ones that have helped put the money up. But I'm an objective person. It was quite funny though. Frank Warren wins the purse bids. That is actually quite funny.
Yeah, it's historic, definitely.
Well, but I'll say briefly, but let's see if the fight does actually happen, and but are they going to make a profit though? So, and you know what? Next time I see Eddie Hearn, it's going to be interesting to hear what he's got to say. But I don't know.
I think like I said, Bob Arum wants Fury to obviously beat Whyte, and basically the reason why Top Rank or whoever invested it, to get the purse bid off for Eddie, basically they want Tyson to win and eventually hopefully fight AJ, because that's the money fight, or fight one for undisputed. That's the end goal for Bob Arum. He wants undisputed. That's the future. That's the end goal, undisputed.
Yeah, of course.
Because the thing is as well, because Bob could have bidded for the Tiafomo George Kambosos fight, but I guess I don't think he saw much money in Tiafomo, because I don't think he I don't think he cared if if he lost or win. I don't think he cares. I don't think Bob Arum sees maybe a profitability future with Tiafomo long term. Whereas his Fury, gets the purse bid, put on BT, he beats Whyte, and then he gets undisputed, hopefully with AJ. That's the money fight, and that's that fight could be potentially at least 100 million, 200 million, 300 million fight. That's hundreds of millions of dollars revenue fight. That's the biggest fight in British boxing history, one of the biggest fights in the past decade. So I can see where Bob Arum is coming from. Whereas Tiafomo, there's not much money. Maybe thanks Tank, but again, nowhere near the lucrative compared to if I get undisputed.
No. But yeah, those are some very intelligent comments. And look, on paper, I think Fury beats Joshua comfortably. I'm not saying it's impossible for Joshua to win, but if you look at the two of them, I think Fury beats him quite comfortably. And obviously, that's a massive fight. It's the biggest fight that can be made. If you talk about Fury versus Usyk, I'm one of the few people. I think Usyk's got a good chance of beating Fury. But what other fights do you have? And obviously, when you mention Lopez, well, yeah, Lopez commercially, he's not the heavyweight champion. I mean, if Lopez was to walk up and down Hollywood or Vegas, or you think people
no one knows
him?
Lopez outside boxing. No one knows who the hell Lopez is outside of boxing. Absolutely, he's not known to casuals.
And then on paper, the thing about Lopez, to the best of my knowledge, this is what I think Bob Arum's thinking. With Lopez, you've got all these guys that can beat him. Lomachenko can beat him, Devin Haney, all these. It's a very dangerous division. But as Fury, on paper, he's probably he looks as if he can beat any of the heavyweights. I don't see Joshua beating him. Usyk could beat him, but it's going to be a very difficult fight for Usyk. Yeah. Who else you got? You got Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte just got knocked out by Povetkin, so obviously you're going to have to go for Fury to win that. I mean, who is there to beat him? What other heavyweights? You got Joyce, but don't really see it. What other heavyweights? Got Audley Harrison been piping up on Twitter, but obviously Audley Harrison's retired. Yeah, just on paper, like Fury's
Yeah,
very dominant
definitely.
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, definitely. I
And
guess,
look, he's shown it all. You know, he
yeah,
gets
Bob
dropped, he
Arum
can get
has
back.
faith in Fury, where he does have the same faith in Lopez, because there's obviously the competition is stronger in lightweight. Tank could beat him, Lomachenko could beat him in a rematch, and even Haim possibly could beat him as well. So I could see Album having less faith in Lopez compared to Fury.
Yeah, obviously you and me were just talking to the best of our ability. I've met Bob Arum once. I never interviewed him, but that's just in my opinion. That's what's going through his head. Obviously, the heavyweight champion of the world. You don't want to lose him. But obviously, look, I can't wait to interview Eddie Hearn. I want to hear what he's got to say. You know, that should be
Okay,
interesting.
so are you still 50-50 on whether attend the next Matchroom press conference? Are you actually going to attend, or
Yeah, probably. What? Let me see. What's coming up? Yeah, it depends. Obviously, I know people in boxing. Yeah, I'll probably try and go to one of them. But all it is, it's a bit. I could go if I wanted, but then you got to try and balance it up. Is it worth taking the day off work and not getting paid? Because the thing with I'm very objective. I'm not jealous of anyone, but the thing a lot of these people don't get, people like Cougar, Michelle, and them, like, they're making money from it, so
yeah?
it's worth it for them. But for me, I mean, I'm getting there, but I just need to get to that next level. But I'll go soon enough. And
Apparently,
the
is
main,
it next week?
yeah,
There's actually going to be a press conference, the White Fury press conference, Fury White press conference, actually next week.
I heard
I'm
that.
actually
I
going to
think
find out the actually, fight date.
I saw a quote. Frank actually, yeah, Frank Warren said that. Yeah, he said he's going to have a press conference. But I'm not convinced. Like Dylan White hasn't said a word, so that's just weird. Yeah, I'm not
Rumor
saying
date,
skip.
April 23rd. That's the rumor date, April 23rd. Apparently at Principality Stadium in Wales. That's the rumored date and venue.
I mean, we'll see. It's just
Even,
weird.
I
Dylan
think
White hasn't.
if it happened,
Yeah,
I
so
think it's going to be Principality Stadium at Old Trafford. I don't think it'll be Wembley or two. I think it's either going to be Old Trafford or Principality.
yeah,
Those two.
probably do. So go on, sorry, mate.
I don't think it'll be Wembley or two. I just think it's going to be either Principality or Old Trafford. Old Trafford because of Fury is a big United fan, and the Principality because of the size and the timing. He'll be available at that time.
Yeah, probably. If I had to guess, I don't know, maybe Manchester. But let's just see if it happens. Like, I don't really pay much attention to rumors, so
In terms of, because a few people have actually think that White will find a way to duck this fight. How come? Why would Fury? Why would White not fight Fury? Because it's getting paid the highest payday, fight the best heavyweight for his dream goal, become world champion. So, because if he doesn't fight Fury, what's he gonna do? Wait,
but a
wait
lot of
for
boxers,
Joshua to hopefully beat Usyk. What's he gonna do?
but a lot of boxers, they make silly choices. Obviously, we all make silly choices in life. I definitely have. I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
And I'm just not convinced because with the whole 80-20, I can see Dylan White's ego sort of not being happy about that. And I mean, look, you got different justifications because obviously they're saying Dylan White and his brother Dean White. I don't know if he's actually his brother. But yeah, they were saying something about Dylan White's been selling out the O2 and he's a pay-per-view fighter. Tyson Fury was struggling to sell tickets against Wilder. And when's the last time Tyson Fury did a show in the UK? People in boxing can be very stubborn. So I'm telling everyone, I haven't got any inside knowledge, but I'm just telling you what they're like. I could see them just saying, no, we're not going to fight because we're getting mugged off. I'm not saying he's scared of him, but then they might not be happy with the 80-20. So I would not be
And
surprised.
also think about it as well. They also get 10%. Whoever wins gets ten
Winners,
percent
but
extra off. Like,
yeah, but people, it's a
yeah, I thought because was it 10% bonus? Whoever wins the fight actually gets 10% bonus.
Yeah, I can't
So,
remember how much it is.
so for me, it's a win-win situation for Whyte. Highest players bid, gets the best heavyweight in the world, best payday. So I don't understand why it's 20% is is fair enough. He's get a bit highest payday, best heavyweight in the world, and if he wins, extra 10% becomes the number one heavyweight in the world, and the real match will do even more money if he pulls a miracle and beats Fury. So I don't feel if for any reason if out of ego if Whyte doesn't fight Fury, he's the biggest idiot in boxing, the biggest idiot. Absolutely, I don't have no sympathy for Fury. Any of his fans who say like Fury should not, Whyte should not take the Fury fight. Honestly,
I agree. Oh yeah, sorry, we finished.
yeah, I said I'm well, in terms of confidence, I'm probably 70, 80. I think the fight will happen. I just think there's no way for Whyte to go. What's he gonna do? Try to fight Chisora for the third time or fight Joseph Parker in the rematch? Really, for less money? And the thing about it is, the zone's different from Sky. The zone have the money that Sky does. So you can't put this fight in pay-per-view. So you find, two people that you're beating for less money. How's that a smart business move, for Whyte if he doesn't fight Fury? Maybe why, maybe like I say, a lot of people in boxing are stupid, but if I doesn't fight Fury, try to fight one of those guys in a rematch for less money. I don't know.
No, but look, I wouldn't go as far as to say stupid, but a lot of not just boxing, but a lot of people in life are irrational. They don't live life as best as they can. They don't make sensible choices. I think a lot of people have got bad people skills. People don't take the time to listen to other people and understand other people. What's a good example? But it's like try and think for a second. I'll give you a simple example if you don't mind me saying. But it's like with you, when I told you to obviously you got your little YouTube channel that you got your channel, you're trying to do certain things. It's only when I told you to message people on Twitter that you started messaging people. So I think it's a good example. But sometimes things don't occur to people, and it's like maybe you thought, oh, you're not famous enough to interview Tasha Jonas and these people. But like people are people. Just ask them. Some will say yes, some will say no.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same with boxing. People make they've got an irrational mindset and sometimes they've got they make bad choices. So I'm not saying the fight won't happen, but I wouldn't be surprised. And what's a good example? But look how much of these people talk. Like, why do they talk so much? Whether it's Hearn or Joshua or Fury or whoever, just stay quiet. And then when you do something, then announce it. It's not complicated.
Yeah, a couple of people
So
think that Whyte would be like the next Dave Allen, like because I remember when Dave Allen said he regretted not taking the old Danny Dubois fight because Eddie told him so. A lot of people think that Eddie would out of ego would try to persuade Whyte not to take the Fury fight out of ego and say that there's a bad move, you're getting screwed over, blah 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 blah. Because
look, as I said, but a lot of them they don't come across as, especially Dave Allen, they don't really come across as intelligent people. Especially someone like Dave Allen. Tell me if I'm wrong, but you ever see his interviews where he talks about not training? A professional fighter who doesn't train, and you think it's a good idea to get in the ring with people. It's like if you're not training, like to me that sounds like I say it to his face. I'm not. Sound like you're mentally not all there in their heads. Like they shouldn't be putting it. Oh, I'm a professional fighter. I don't train. Well, you need to get help then, because you need to get you need to go to the doctors because you're gonna get in there with people and you're not training. Like, what's supposed? Is that supposed to be funny? Have you ever seen when he said those things
yeah,
before?
I've seen those videos. Yeah, those infamous not training hard videos. Yeah, I've seen them.
So this is what I'm saying, but it's not at that level. I mean, you're talking about professional boxing. I mean, so if that's what you're like about training, I mean, I've seen a lot of boxers. I mean, most of them do train hard. Like Kid Galahad trains hard, Kell Brook, and whoever you want to name. Most of them train hard. But if that's your attitude towards training, then obviously what you obviously know nothing about business. So obviously that's why I don't know the full details of what happened between him and Eddie Hearn. So I've heard about it, But I don't know, it just doesn't sound good on Eddie Hearn's part because you've got a naive person. Because Dave Allen's not an intelligent person. I mean, I'll say it to his face. What's he going to do? Beat me up?
Is Dave
But
Allen still trying to get the Alan Babbitt fight? Is that dead in the water now?
I don't know. I haven't got enough knowledge to say, but if I see him, I'll ask him. But it's going to be a big problem because
I thought
obviously,
he was planning to move down to Bridgerweight now and try
Babbitt.
himself a title. Yeah, I heard he's trying to move down to either cruiser or Bridgerweight, and because he says it's not obviously it's not a proper heavyweight. It's a small man really. It's really a Bridgerweight / cruiserweight even. So I heard that's moving down.
Well, yeah, he's too small. I've met him. He's too small. But always with a lot of fighters, from what I've seen, a lot of the time they go for the big money, even if it's not the best decision. They don't look after their health. They don't think about long term. They just go for quick money. So that's my guess with him. He's just trying to see where can I get the big paydays, because obviously that's why people fight at heavyweight. You're getting more money at heavyweight. But I wish Dave Allen well, but he hasn't been active, and now you want to fight. From what you told me, he wants to fight Babbitt. Well, I wish you good luck, but you haven't been active. You've been training other people. You've been managing people, and it's up to you. It's his life, but
I think his goals is he says he's not good enough to win a world title. How he wants to at least get a British title.
Oh yeah, but listen, this is the thing with Dave Allen, though. Just a quick example, but I don't feel sorry for him because with what Eddie Hearn said, that I'll probably do feel sorry for him. But in terms of training, Dave Allen's gone from Dennis Hobson to Peter Fury to Adam Booth. I think he had another trainer. But if you're he was at the Ingle gym as well.
Okay,
but
okay. Also, was the last trainer Darren Barker as well, one of his trainers?
Yeah, but it's like, but if you're going from trainer to trainer, but obviously you're the one with a problem. Because I know for a fact, Peter Fury, Booth, and Ingle, whatever you say about them on the personal level, because I don't like getting personal with people unless I'm provoked. But they've all performed at the high levels, so you can't say they don't know boxing. Dominic Ingle's been doing it since a boy under his father. Peter Fury, his record speaks for itself. Adam Booth, his record speaks for itself. So
yeah,
if you're going from person to person, and the other one's Dennis Hobson, and obviously you're the one with the problem. You're not serious enough. And I think sometimes fighters have got to take responsibility, because it's up to you to wake up and train. It's up to you to watch what you're eating. So I wish Dave Allen well, but it's a difficult sport.
Okay. Regarding the Fury Whyte fight, what's your prediction? Do you reckon how confident are you? Do you reckon it will happen? Is it 50-50? What percentage do you reckon the fight happened or not? Are you 50-50, 70-30, 80-20, 20-80? What's your gut feelings of the fight happens or not?
I'd say probably 60-40 it happens. How about you?
I'm 70-30.
As you said, though, I just think if Dylan doesn't take it, I just think it's going to be too embarrassing. Everyone's going to take the mick out of him, and
yeah, because
I'm not
if he
saying
doesn't fight Fury, he's going to have to wait another year or 18, at least 18 months, because Fury will fight, will try to go for undisputed, and so will AJ. If AJ wins undisputed against Fury, if Usyk wins undisputed against Fury, it's either way, and it's probably going to be rematch clause in undisputed fight. So you have to wait another year, maybe 2 years for the winner of undisputed. So I don't see where it goes. And again, if he dares fight Chisora or Parker, oh my God, what a dumb move! What a dumb move! He tries to fight, dig up Chisora or Parker from the grave for a rematch.
I mean, look, it's not. He might avoid the fight, and Eddie Hearn's an excellent talker. Like, if they do avoid the fight, look, they'll find the way. They'll come up with whatever propaganda and, oh, well, the deal when there was this and that in the deal and something like that. And they'll find a way for him to fight other people. But there's nothing you can do which will stop people from turning against him. And I'd say it to his face. I'd tell him a lot of people have turned against you. You
Yeah,
know,
I
but
know I have no sympathy. You're waiting 1,000 days. You're waiting another 1,000 days to get your world title fight now.
no, but dude, opportunities there. It's like your channel. You know, I told you to message people. The opportunity came up for you to interview Tasha Jonas, and you did. So, you know, that's not, you know, I don't want to hear, you know, it's like imagine if she contacted you, or imagine someone messaged you, like, I don't know, Clarissa Shields or Eddie Hearn, and they're like, oh, yeah, you know, I've got 10 minutes to do a Zoom call. And you said to them, oh, I don't know, I'm a bit tired now. Well, that's up to you. You can tell them that. But if you miss the opportunity, you know, it's like, you know, I'm not trying to show off, or maybe I am. It's like when I sparred Kell Brook, the opportunity was there. I took it. If I asked him to wait, there's no way he'd spar me. If he's in camp, he won't spar. So if I'd said, oh, I'll come back in a month when I'm fitter, if I'd come back, the answer would have been no. So I took the opportunity. I didn't go there. I didn't think he was gonna spar. I didn't even know he was at the gym. I went there to see Dominic Ingle. Kell Brook turned up. I asked him. So you know, I don't think I think it's fair for me to talk about it, but I don't even have to be boxing. Whether it's college or a job interview, when your opportunity comes up, take it. And if you don't expect us to feel sorry for you. Like the opportunity is there for Dylan Whyte to make history, for your name to go in the history books. And imagine if you win. I give him a 30% chance of winning. You know, he might beat Fury, and if you beat him, then you can, you know, you get more money, won't you? But don't if you turn the fight down, I don't want to hear anything. You know what I mean? And I think a
Absolutely,
lot of
man.
people, yeah, a lot of people say the same.
And then we'll find next week. We'll find out if actually is gonna go ahead in the date and the venue. We'll find out next week. So if it happens, will Eddie Hearn actually attend a press conference, or he won't attend? Because that'd be history. Send Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren on an actual press conference together, first time in history. That'd be epic.
Um, I'm not gonna believe they fight until the fight actually happens. And you never know. Don't. It's not just Dylan Whyte, but Tyson Fury's got a history of avoiding fights. He didn't want to rematch Klitschko, and who was the other guy? Which fight am I thinking of? Is it
Oh, David
especially the
Price.
Klitschko? Yeah, so he's got his own history. Well, then there was November what year? November 2020. He pulled out of the fight against I forget who it was. It Caballero, because he told me, because he said, oh, there's not enough money. So look, anything could happen. So I'm not going to believe it happens till it actually does happen. I need to see them in the ring.
Actually, I don't
And
think
the other
Fury.
question,
I don't think Fury's scared of White.
no, but I'm not saying scared. As I say, I don't. I said the same thing about Dylan Whyte. Fighters don't really fear
A
fighters,
lot of
but it's
people think
more.
a lot of people thought Fury was scared of Wilder. A lot of people do think Wilder will give a lot of stupid people thought Fury was give Wilder his third fight, and I said, "What, you beat him twice? Why not fight him again? Well, yeah, Wilder's got
No, but,
power, but you beat him
yeah,
twice."
but a lot of people, they don't really talk with much common sense. If they was to say it to me, I'd make them look very silly, because fighters, saying a fighter is scared of fighting, that's what they've been doing since for however long. If you look at me, I'm not very good, but don't you see me getting in the ring with pros? You see me getting in there with Kell Brook. You see me getting
Yeah,
in there with Jose Alberto. So I'm not. You can say, "Oh, but it's only sparring." Yeah, but remember, I don't know how hard they're gonna hit me. Like some of the shots Kell Brook hit me with did hurt. I don't know. I could break my nose. I don't. But I'm saying I'm not trying to show off, but because I've been in the ring with so many people, I'm just like, I'll jump in there. Like if the chance came up for me to spar Canelo, I'd spar him. I'm not delusional. Like if he was in a bad mood, or if he clearly didn't like me, I'd leave it alone. Because also I'm not trying to get my ribs broken. But if they said to me, you get in there at your own risk, I said, fine. If you want me
do you
to sign
think?
the
Do you
contract,
think one of the
yeah.
reasons why I responded yet to the announcement? Do you think Fury is a bit embarrassed that Eddie, a bit annoyed, but Eddie did try harder to get the purse bid?
No, no, no. I don't. Well, I'll come to that in a second. But all the thing about fighters being scared. But look, it's not. It's what you do. That's like saying to a cleaner, "Are you scared to clean?" It's like telling a journalist, "Are you scared to interview?" It's not. It's a job. The thing that will stop people from doing their job is if they feel they're not being offered enough money. So yeah, I'm not. I would never say Fury's scared, but it could, it could be anything. Maybe he feels he wants more money, or anything could happen. And yeah, and the whole thing with Eddie Hearn. To be honest, I don't know. A lot of the stuff people say on social media, I don't really take it seriously. So the stuff Eddie Hearn says, I don't know if he's being serious. The stuff Fury says, I don't know if he's being
Because this happened
serious.
before. Because when the Whyte got 5 million to fight, Joshua Wembley all this
Yeah.
years ago, and did turn out because he was happy with the money. It was happy with the rematch clause. So second time, if you for the second opportunity, then again, you have no one to blame but yourself, Dillian.
He's got no one to. That's what I'll say. I mean, there's not until it actually happens. All I say, look, he's not scared of him, but it's just the thing with it's just greed. It's like me, yeah. To give you a quick example, I know where Tyson Fury's gym is. I could go to his gym tomorrow and ask him to spot. Scared to go, but the odds are he's probably going to say no. So that's why I won't go. Not because I'm scared. So this is what I'm saying about Dylan. He's not scared of him, but he's just being greedy for money. That's the only thing logically that will stop the fight from happening. You know.
Yeah, and we'll find next week. So next week we'll find out if it's happening or not. Just
Well,
maybe
I'll only take it
wait for it.
seriously once I see them in the ring, mate.
So yeah. A press conference could be good, but again, it's not concrete. A press conference, you need to see them
Yeah,
very
talks
close in the
talk.
ring. If it
Fatal
happens,
injuries could happen.
you go attend. I'm gonna try to attend it. Are you
When
gonna
I
attend?
attend, I'm not really that fussed about attending. I might attend, but I'm not gonna pay more than I won't pay more than 100, at most.
Yeah,
I'm not paying more than that. It's not that big a deal to me because I'd rather do things in my own life where I can get to the next level where I can get more access to these sort of things. It doesn't really mean a lot to me. I think it's a good fight. I want to see it, but going there in person, it's just the money. And I'm not saying I can't afford it, but say I spend £150, but that's a lot of money. I could get like a massage with that, or I could. I'm being serious. I could
you
buy a
still
pair of
okay?
gloves.
Yeah, but yeah. I just want to see Fury again. I just want to see. I think it'll be a good fight. That's why I think if he happens, pray God it happens, I'll go and see it. Like I just think it'll be good. I just think
If it
it'll be a
happens.
good event. Good personality, great personalities. It could either end in a knockout or could either end in points. So I just think it'll be an exciting event.
Would you pay to go?
Yeah, yeah. As long as it's reasonable, as long as I can afford it, reasonable. Not a full arm and a leg. I'll go to it.
What's the most you'd pay?
300 or most 300. That's my
Oh,
max.
that much?
Yeah, for Fury White, yeah, because those are big events. Like your 50 foot, like your 80,000 plus spectacle events. Yeah,
All right, cool.
yeah. I'll try to because we're in the post lockdown era. I want to enjoy these are big events where it happens because you never know, it could be a back of lockdown. So I want to enjoy these big events for us. We've got our freedom.
Oh no, listen, I'm not. Obviously, if you want to go, go. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I'd just rather use the money for other stuff. Hopefully, all I'll say, I'm surprised people. I don't get the credit I deserve, but that Kell Brook spot, it's already got over 13,000 views. Now, if I could get someone like Kell Brook to spot, so 13, not 30. If I can get someone like Kell Brook to spot me, it's only a matter of time before I get other people. So with me, I'm more focused on that. Well, look at Bob Arum. Look at what he said about the women's boxing. Now look at how all the women are in an uproar. Now, imagine, like, I tell you what I'm desperate to do. I don't really care about doing interviews, but I would love to spar people like Clarissa Shields, and like she's in London at the moment. Like, so I'd rather use the money to try and do stuff like that, so, but anyways, we'll probably move on. But
have you seen that?
what do you,
There's an old video. Have you seen that videos? Talk about sparring videos, Mike. There's an old video where I think is it spars or has a bit of a session. Michelle Joy Phelps from behind the clothes spars Billy Joe Saunders.
I've seen it.
Oh yeah. What do you think of that video?
I mean, I don't know.
Apparently she cried a bit because part of Billy Joe hit her and she cried. Apparently.
I don't know if she cried. I mean, I can always ask her the next time I see her. But she didn't really seem to react too well, in my opinion. I don't know. I think maybe Billy went a little bit too hard. Obviously, I don't really want to spar women like that. I want to spar women that can fight. Close. I tell you what, I did spar. I sparred Sandy Ryan years ago. She could fight. And anybody who thinks women can't fight, I'm not saying they're the equivalent of male boxers, because they're not. But if you're talking about a woman versus someone like you or me, like, listen, they're fast. Like, it's like trying to fight a cat. Like, she could flip and fight. I tried. I hit her as hard as I could. But yeah, no, she wasn't having it. She was getting hard.
Yeah,
like,
I can imagine.
She beat me up, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think
it'd
be fun to spar. Ellie Scott would be fun as well as Rhiannon Dixon. Those two would be amazing to spar.
Well, it's just a matter of time. I've never met Ellie Scottney, but it's just I've got a few messages from female boxers recently about doing interviews. So it's just a matter of time. Also, I've met Tasha Jonas. I never got the chance. I interviewed her, but I didn't get enough time to ask her about sparring. But it's just patience, just building the friendship, and then going down the gym.
I'm happy for her. Did you hear about her? She's gonna work a title fight on the card book and on the card book on the card. I think she's moving 2 weeks up.
Yeah, I think Tasha. I think she's a very likable person. She's had a hard time in boxing. I'd love to spar her, by the way, and I wish her well. I hope she wins this world title. I think she can, and yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But I wish her well.
Absolutely, I hope she does it. Gets the third time lucky. I hope she gets a world title, man, and get what she's worked hard for. Oh yeah,
yeah.
What I was gonna say, we had a conversation one of the first conversation. Do you actually want to go to it?
Yeah, you can ask me anything. I don't mind.
Josh Warrington, Kiko Mantino's title fight in Leeds. Is it Leeds? Like you said, you might go into it.
Yeah, that one I will go to. Yeah,
that's your event. You actually want to go to the event?
That one I'm definitely going to go to.
Okay, because like I say, if you go, I'll go to it. If you want to go to it, let's do our first, interview together, like a press conference or even a live event. Let's do. I'm up for it. Because I want to see Ebony Bridges. I want to see in real life. She'd be fun. Have you met her yet, Ebony Bridges?
I have met her a few times. We've we know each other. Yeah, she's she knows me because I did a video on her, and this is what I'm trying to say. They're just people. So I did a video on her. I sent it to her, and then from there she took notice of my channel. So it just depends on the person. You do a video on them, they might notice, they might not. But yeah, I think Ebony Bridges is a cool person, and yeah, I wish her well.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're up for it, let's go. Let's do it. Let's go to Leeds, March 26th. Let's go to it.
No, why not? I'll get into the press conference. And
go for
last thing I say about Ebony Bridges, like, you know what I'm gonna say? I'd love to spar her. Like, literally, I'll spar anybody, men, women, so long as they can fight. Like, it'll be. I just think people find it interesting to watch.
Oh yeah, she's fighting for the IBF bantamweight title as well. She's got she's fighting for a championship as well.
Yeah, she's fighting quite soon. I think it's a tough fight, but I give her respect, like, as a person. She's willing to take on challenges, because I think the fight with Shannon Courtney, that was a tough fight. She took it on willingly, and if I'm honest, I think Ebony Bridges, the fight with the French woman, Gangloff Maylies, it was a very tough fight. I mean, maybe you could say Ebony Bridges lost that fight. But that's just boxing, you're going to lose fights, so long as you're willing to continue. But no, I just think boxing is starting to take off. I think so. Hopefully, after what Bob Arum said the other day, hopefully some of these old people start disappearing from boxing,
Yeah, we'll see. So it's going to be a big year for women's boxing. So Ebony could potentially become world champion. Hopefully, Natasha Jones becomes world champion. And Katie Taylor's fight on Undisputed against Amanda Serrano in April 30th. So it's going to be a big year for women's boxing. And hopefully, we get the long-awaited Savannah Marshall, Kirsty Shields, fight as well. So this could be the biggest year with boxing, ever, potentially.
Yeah, I think Savannah Marshall versus Shields is going to happen this year. I mean, my only guess, to the best of my knowledge, like I say, fighters don't fear each other, but it's just a thing where the reason sometimes fights may take a while is because they're trying to get as much money from it as possible.
Let me ask you a question. How come? What did Ben Sholem do what Eddie couldn't? How come Ben Sholem could get Kirsty Shields to sign to boxer where Eddie could do the same with Matchroom?
I can answer that question. I think the answer is obvious. I haven't got any inside knowledge, but it's very obvious. Eddie Hearn's a very sort of controlling person, and he's egotistical. I'm sure you've noticed. He thinks he's more important than the fighters. And obviously he rubs a lot of, I don't like using cliches, but he rubs a lot of people up the wrong way. And when you're dealing with someone like Amir Khan, well, think about it. Eddie Hearn, he's always making little digs. Khan's this, Khan's, like, even the other day when he's saying that stuff about Tyson Fury, Fury's scared to fight Usyk. Did you see those comments?
Yeah, I've seen that video. Yeah, IFL video.
Listen,
yeah.
no, I'm gonna tell him the next time I see Eddie Hearn. Well, when you say fighters are scared to fight fighters, no, Eddie. Eddie's scared to fight fighters. You remember when Derek Chisora kicked off at the Dylan Whyte press conference? You remember when he picked up the table?
Yeah, that one.
You remember when he squared up to Eddie Hearn, and all he was doing was just talking, but Eddie Hearn got scared.
Yeah, those epic moments.
So that's what I'm trying to say. If Derek Chisora had tried squaring up to me like that, I would, like, Eddie Hearn basically ran off. Like when Chisora started shouting, Eddie Hearn basically just jumped off, jumped behind his security and he disappeared. If Derek Chisora had done that to me, I'm not gonna run. Like, I'll listen to what you have to say, but I'm not the one that did it. So what I'm trying to say is, I think it's a good explanation. But you got this clown in Eddie Hearn, like, even though I like him, but you're trying to say fighters are scared of fighters. Like, you might be, but fighters are not scared of fighters. So what I'm trying to say, he gets on people's nerves when he says stuff like that. So all these little digs that you've been making about Khan all over the years, same with Wilder, you're always making little digs. It's gonna come back to bite you because people are gonna remember it. So that's my answer.
Eddie Hearn is an amazing promoter, fantastic promoter. One of the best promoters is Don King, definitely. But I can never understand why Eddie Hearn could never get Karen Brook when in the prime, can never get Wilder Joshua in the prime, can never get Kirsty Shields for Savannah Marshall. Whereas Ben Shalom, a guy come from nowhere, managed to get Karen Brook on pay-per-view on the Sky box office and potentially, pretty much likely, Kirsty Shields. I know in the versus Savannah Marshall, and that's something that he should have done really. He had Savannah signed to Matchroom. He also had Khan and Brook both signed to Matchroom, but he couldn't get them in those fights on. So,
no, but I'll say it quickly, but it's not all Eddie Hearn's fault, because remember, Khan Brook are coming to the end of their career. And obviously they're at a point now where they're
There's
both
nowhere to
pretty
go.
much
Yeah,
out.
there's
Yeah, probably both pretty much out of time. And the thing with DAZN, yeah, but DAZN, some app nobody's heard
they
of.
don't have the pay-per-view
Sky
platform. They don't have the
Sports.
money. They don't have the money that Sky does.
So yeah, the thing with Sky is Sky Sports is massive. So obviously Khan, they're looking at Sky because I remember when I used to like when I was young, I haven't got a haircut in years now. I don't like getting a haircut. But whenever you go to the barbers, Sky Sports is on. Also it's mainstream. So obviously
Yeah.
Khan and Book are saying, you know what, yeah, we're trying to get that pay-per-view money. So I don't know. I don't think it's all on Eddie Hearn. Because obviously, it's just
Yeah, I agree. No. I just thought, wait, I just shocked that he couldn't get Khan book on especially when Khan was signed to Matchroom. I always see Eddie Hearn as like a master salesman who can do anything. He's got the gift of the gap, but some things you don't get.
No, but he's only human. Like obviously, there's only so much you can do, and a lot of fighters, from what I can see, but they're unreasonable people. They won't give you a straight answer. Like Dylan Whyte, like the whole. I'm not blaming Eddie, but the way these guys go back and forth, the way they won't. Like, look, we'll be repeating ourselves, but obviously Eddie Hearn's not the one that stopped Dylan Whyte from taking these fights. Like if I was in Dylan Whyte's position, I'd jump at the chance. So it's the same thing with these boxers. Like, take Khan, but they're egotistical people. And then if you say anything to get on their nerves, I'm talking generally, but obviously if you say anything which gets on their nerves, they're going to react, So that's something you've got to take into consideration. With Eddie's surrounded by a lot of yes people like Michelle and Coogan who, oh, go on, Eddie, tell us more. He hasn't got enough people like me. Like, I'll tell you, sometimes you need to know when to shut up. Because if you're saying stuff like fighters are scared of fighters, that's just, you're taking the absolute mick. Like when you're trying to say Khan's scared of Brook, he's not scared of Brook. The same, take me, yeah. I'm nothing special, yeah. Listen, if you gave me Alexander Usyk's address, yeah, his gym address, I have no problem going to Ukraine and sparring him. I'll do it. But I'm not going to do it because I don't think he's going to say yes. It's not worth my time to fly all the way to the Ukraine. So what I'm trying to say about Khan and these guys, don't say fighters are scared of fighters. You just got to make it worth their time. Like you do a job, you make whatever money you make. It's got nothing to do with being scared. But if someone offers you a better job, you're going to take it. Same with me. I'm not going to go. I'll tell you where I would go. I'd go to America because getting Americans to spar you is quite easy. Plus, I know a lot of people in America. I know where the Mayweather gym is. I know where loads of gyms are. So it's worth my time. So I know I'm going up. It gets on my nerves when people say fighters are scared of fight. They're not. Well, how much money does Eddie Hearn have in the bank? So it's okay for you to make money, but fighters can't make money. That's all it is. Not. So this is what I'm saying. Going back to the question, why couldn't he make these fights? Sometimes you need to know when to keep your mouth shut. Because if you get on people's nerves, they're going to remember that. Whereas someone like Ben Shalom, he doesn't get personal, does he? He hasn't said one thing. And Ben Shalom's a young guy, he's like 27. He doesn't say anything about boxers on a personal level. He just does his job. So that's advice I'd give to Eddie Hearn. Just
So
shut up with all the
be more humble.
Like you're telling people like Bob, what's his name, Shelley Finkel, you're calling him Shirley Winkle, and then when you get personal, do it if you want, but don't be surprised when people react.
Okay.
So I know it's a bit of a long answer.
Tell Fast Eddie to be more humble when we meet him. Definitely tell him to be more humble.
I'll tell him. Yeah.
Anyways, so basically February's like boxers like officially back now with Chris Eubank versus Lee Williams, February the 5th in Cardiff. What do you think that fight, Mike? How do you think that fight's going?
Yeah, it's a really good fight. It's hard to pick a winner because neither of them have taken on someone with a similar style. I mean, if I had to pick one, I mean, they've both been in with good fighters. If I had to pick, I'd probably go Liam Williams. I'm talking objectively, but with Eubank, I don't know. He's too much of a front runner. I think he's got a lot of physical ability. He's probably got more speed, better skills. But I want to see what happens if he's in a challenging fight. You know, obviously, I know he beat the girl. Then there was a fight with Groves, but Groves was, I think his arm was injured, and Eubank wasn't really able to get past Groves. So I know Liam Williams lost to Andrade, but I don't think Eubank's as good as Andrade. I could be wrong, but I don't think he is. But I'm
Okay.
probably going Liam Williams on points. So what do you think?
I think if Eubanks learned his lesson, he's got better footwork, and Roy Jones helped him become a better fighter overall. I think it'd be Eubank on points. It'd be a tough fight, but I think Eubank beats Williams on points. I just think overall Eubanks is the better fighter out of the two.
Okay.
Williams is good, but I think Williams is more limited at world level than Eubank. So Eubank is on his A game. I think he beats him on points. I don't think Eubank stops Williams, but I think he beats him on points.
When you say Williams is limited at world level, are you just talking about the Liam Smith fight or the Andrade fight?
Yeah, because they never impressed me. Eubank falls short, but I think Eubank just. I think Eubank would have been a better fighter if he had a better coaches early on in his career. I think Eubank would have just had the wrong coach and wrong management in his career. I think Eubank could have done better. He had a better management around him. Whereas I think Liam Williams is a good fighter, but I just think overall not as good as Eubank. And I think Roy Jones is the person to help him at least improve his footwork or become boxing ability. That's why I'm more confident in Eubank beating Williams on points. Maybe majority split decision. It will be a tough fight, definitely, but I think you just beat him on points.
Yeah, I think it's a tough fight. And
Yeah, definitely a tough fight. I think 60-40 in Eubank's favour.
okay, quite close then.
Yeah. Definitely a good fight, and then definitely be fireworks. I can't see it being knockout. I can't see Eubank stopping Williams.
Yeah, I don't think either one of them can stop this. Yeah, I don't see a stoppage. But listen, I'm looking forward to it. It should be a great fight. I mentioned something earlier. When I mentioned Bob Arum's comments about women's boxing. What do you think of those comments? Did you see them?
What would you say?
He just basically said nobody pays any attention to women's boxing. Comparing women's boxing is like comparing the Premier League to like Sunday football. I thought comments were a bit harsh, but then a lot of the women, like boy, they were kicking off on Twitter. Clarissa
Okay.
Shields, Sandy Riot, like boy, he hasn't done himself any favors with that.
Yeah, well, I'm very, very, very non-PC statement. Very not non-politically correct. Wow. You said that. Wow.
Let me did you see? I haven't watched it, but I just had a quick look at the. Have you seen his interview for regarding the bids?
Yeah, I've seen it. Was it with seconds out?
IFL,
Or was I,
IFL.
yeah, I've seen that video about the press bid. Yeah,
I turned it on, but then he looks so old and so. I don't know. He said, "What's the word?" He just the interview looks so boring, so
yeah,
I jumped off. I couldn't be bothered
yeah.
watching it.
It was entertaining. Yeah, I think I watched most of it. I just skipped it.
The question I'm trying to come to, like, obviously, the guy is 90 years old. We've seen all the things where he's been kicking off recently, and how much longer do you think he can last?
If
Because
we're
Eddie
lucky,
Hearn's decade.
we shall see. Maybe think about it, Don King still kicking it. Don King's almost how long? Don King almost 90. He's still promoting.
Same age, I would get. Yeah, same age, I guess.
I think Don King's younger than. Well, I think Don King's like maybe 85, something like that. 85, in his mid 80s.
Well, if Makabu fights, if he fights Canelo, it might be a chance for Don King to make a comeback.
Could do, especially if McCall knocks Canal out. Wow, that'd be Don King's biggest comeback, a comeback of a lifetime. biggest pay-per-view star
I
in
don't.
boxing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he can knock Canelo out. But listen, it's a cruiserweight boxer. Anything could happen. Boy, imagine if Don King came back.
Have you seen the Don King interview? He speaks about Tyson Fury.
Can I say that again?
The Don King interview is with Fight Hype TV. He talks about the heavyweight division, the current landscape, comparing the old and the heavyweights and the new ones. It's quite a good interview.
Oh yeah, yes, I saw that.
Yeah, he's a big Tyson Fury fan, a massive Tyson Fury fan.
Yeah, but I just think it's business. I don't think he's a Tyson Fury fan. I just think he realizes Tyson's the heavyweight champion,
He's
and
the best, he's the best of the bunch.
but that's why people take an interest because obviously if you've got something you bring to the table, that's why they take an interest.
Yeah, I was
You
hot.
know,
Tyson Fury is the king of the town now, so it's not sure to speak about who's running the show, who's hot.
yeah, but I guess we'll probably
I
leave
don't think
that
no,
question.
Tyson will never ever sign a Don King now. After because Tyson after what happened to his idols, what happened to Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson, those idols, his idols now, he will never work with Don King. He, Tyson's more like to work with Eddie Hearn than he will work with Don King. No, he never.
No, but I think the problem with King, he doesn't bring enough to the table, and he's too old. He's like 19.
His past is too shady for the new fighters to work with him. It's too shady.
I don't think it's that because you've
Who's
got
gonna
a
work
lot of
with
shady
him?
people.
Who's gonna work?
Mm.
Who's last name he had is Ben Bowman's Severn, and Severn had problems with Don King. Every fight I passed all had issue with Don King, Ali, Tyson, Holyfield, Jones, Tarver. Every fighter that's on Don King always had issues. Bowman's Severn. So and the new fight, this new fight. That's why the reason why he lost his crown because of his dealing with it's like Frank Warren. Frank Warren's had a lot of issues with fights in the past, a lot of lawsuits and whatnot. Say with Don King, a lot of lawsuits between previous fighters and just new fighters who just said, nah, you should go that guy. Why should I work with you?
I think Don King's he hasn't got enough of an organization there, so he doesn't really offer fighters a lot. So I think that's the problem. People like Fury, I don't see them going to him. I could see Fury working with Eddie Hearn though, because obviously if he's gonna fight Joshua, well, obviously I don't think Joshua can beat Usyk, but if he's gonna fight Joshua, he'd have to work with Eddie Hearn. So, but actually, look, I'll tell you this thing about boxing. It's all just business at the end of the day. If people think something's worth it, they'll work with anyone. Generally, I'm not saying all the time, but money's more important than any of the other stuff, no matter what they tell you.
Speak about Worthy. What's Canelo next for me? Reckon he will fight? Because fight Eddie. Eddie's trying to get Canelo to fight Bivol next. He's trying to get a 2-fight deal with Canelo. Trying to fight Dimitri Bivol at light heavy. In fact, in a Glock. Again for middle. Or if you think Canelo will stay with Bob Arum, we'll try to fight another fight with not Bob Arum, Al Heyman and fight Charlo.
I
Or
can
do you
see
think
my guess. Yeah, well, my guess is probably I say he's either going to fight Charlo or I don't know who else are the best fights. I mean,
or Macari Akuza?
Golovkin.
Original plan.
I don't know. I think it's too big for him. I don't know I think he's more likely to fight Super. If I had to pick someone, I'd say probably. Also, I'm just guessing. I'd say probably Charlo because Charlo's
I
going
think
to
Charles
bring
just for
that.
the pay-per-view money. We got a
Yeah,
massive payday.
exactly.
We got like $50 million after fighting, Caleb Plant on Showtime. Otherwise,
And
Eddie
obviously,
Eddie can't go to give Canelo those paydays on a pay-per-view platform. He can't.
yeah, no,
If
that's
Eddie
what
if
our
Eddie had a
guess is.
pay-per-view platform, possibly, but no. I think Canelo seen that he can still get big fights on pay-per-view at Showtime, and that money's too good for him to turn down. To fight for less money, because Bivol is a lesser name. He knows the belt holder is not as lucrative as Charlo.
I think he'll probably go for Charlo.
Yeah, I think Charlo next. What else is there to talk about boxing? So the big thing is Fury White. We'll find next week that happened or not. Okay, Williams Eubank. Are you working this Saturday? Are you not working this Saturday?
I'm probably working.
So you watch the fight live, or are you gonna watch it in the morning?
Yeah, I'm not really fussed about watching it live. Just watch it. Just watch it the next day. Um, I'm looking to make as much money as I can right now. So
So
yeah,
so you got
things
so
going.
you're see, have you got one job now, two jobs?
Now I've got two jobs.
You still a construction job.
I left that. I got a driver's mate job, which is Monday to Friday. Then weekends I've got well, obviously with the kitchen one you can book the shift, but basically I can do kitchen porter on the weekends.
Okay, so you're working 6 to 7 days a week.
Yep.
No start. Wow.
Obviously
Wow.
I've got plans, and you
Yeah, I know.
know,
You're one of your plans. You got to uni. You want to say that that money you want to pay off. Trying to get some money for uni fees. Uni ain't cheap. I get you. I know your plans. You
yeah,
want
but
to
I've
save
got a
up for
lot of
uni and
stuff
whatnot.
happening. But the main thing that I think my YouTube channel, that's what I'm trying to do. I really want to, let me ask your advice. Do you see my YouTube channel blowing up? Because if I could spar Kell Brook, it's only a matter. Would you agree? It's only a matter of time before I get someone else.
Yeah, if you can get get some sparring, with some name, definitely. If you can get someone like Ebony Bridges, Amir Khan, they're a big name, and you definitely get more subscribers.
Yes, that's my main thing. Well, I don't want to talk too much about it. Obviously, it's better to just do it. But also, there's a lot of potential out there. Like, obviously, I've never met Ben Davidson, but once I meet people like him, and also we can talk about him as well now. But obviously, once I start going around these different gyms, then it's only a matter of time. I tell you, I'll ask a good question. What did you think when Ben Davidson was saying British trainers are lazy?
I think he's comparing his success against other successful trainers. 'Cause he's done a lot in a short period of time. He's been blessed to have Tyson Fury, Billy Joe Saunders, David Haney. Whereas the trainers that have been in the game for like a lot longer, like 20 plus years, and haven't had the names that he has on his books. So I just think he's saying like I've done all this. I don't have an extensive background in boxing, but what am I should do in the past 4 or 5 years in boxing?
You know, I think he's getting carried away with the things he's saying because I don't really think he's done anything in boxing. All he's done, he trained Fury, but I see Fury was already at a world class level. With Fury, the only thing with him was just getting him fit for the
Yeah.
Wilder fight. Getting someone fit, I mean, it's not too. I was about to say it's not too difficult. It's achievable. So if you talk about all the other guys, the Josh Taylor, yeah, but Josh Taylor's he's already at a certain level, so you haven't done anything with him. If you try boxing, if you try sparring, see, you're much bigger than me, but I'm very confident about taking you on because I know you're not as experienced as me. And I'm not trying to show off, but what I'm trying to explain, boxing is very difficult to get people to it's very difficult to get past a certain level in boxing because a lot of people try it and you'll find out, yeah. But a lot of people, you get in there, you'll spar, someone will punch you, and you'll say, you know what, boxing's not for me. Or even if you've had one or two amateur fights, even getting past that is very difficult. So when you got someone like Josh Taylor, who's at that high level, yeah, but he's already like 95% done. So you're not doing anything. Same with Devin Haney. But I don't think he's trained Devin Haney. He was just in the corner. Yeah, but Devin Haney, I remember sparring Devin Haney when he was 14 and I was 21. And I'd say at that age, Like, he's the most talented fighter I've ever sparred. At that age, I'd say he'd have beaten up a lot of men. Like, take a lot of these white collar shows. I'd bet money he'd beat a lot of men at 14. So what I'm trying to say is, when you're working with people like this, don't give me this rubbish that you're training them, because you're not. They're already like 90% done, and you're adding you can't even say you're adding the finishing touches, because they're already done. It's not complicated. So he's getting carried away. Shane McGuigan's a better trainer, because Shane McGuigan trained Frampton from scratch. Josh Taylor from. So I'm not saying Ben can't become a great trainer, but you're getting carried away. It's like
Yeah,
me.
definitely.
It's like me trying to say I'm a world-class sparring partner. I'm not. Just because I can jump in there. Well, I've known Kell Brook for over 10 years, so that's how I made it happen. But it don't mean I'm that good. So don't get carried away with the things you say. I
Yeah,
mean,
definitely.
who would you say are some of the best British trainers?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, I say definitely say Shane McGuigan. I say Adam Booth. I'll say Dominic Ingle. Um, those three. Who else are the British trainers right now? I think Tunde Ajayi's got potential. I think Tunde, if he takes to and enjoys to good world champion, definitely Tunde's up there now, or almost there. Yeah, those ones from British trainers, and I think he's got potential as well. Jamie Moore.
yeah, they're doing a good. And to be honest, I think Tunde's underrated. I actually think I'd say Tunde's better than Ben Davidson, because he
Yeah,
took Yard from. I remember Yard when he walked in the gym, and like Yard came in the gym, like pretty much like 20 years old. He's taken that guy 12 amateur fights. He's taken him all the way to a very high level. If you look at what he did to Lyndon Arthur, like, that was a shocking result. The way he knocked him out in the rematch. And I don't care that he lost the first fight. Muhammad Ali lost fights. It's not. Plus, listen, I met Yard at that time. I ran into him, and you got to remember the guy. Like, he's just lost like two family members to COVID or whatever happened. I think his aunt and his dad. I can't remember. I ran into him in a public place. Also, I tell you, he was actually, and yeah, I could see he didn't really want to talk. So I just gave him the thumbs up, and he was cool. He gave me thumbs up back. But I thought, I don't know him well enough, so I thought I just leave it at that. So we walked past each other. But I'm just trying to say, remember, if you've got deaths in the family, it's going to distract you from boxing. So the first fight, not a big deal. But what he did in the rematch, flipping hell, you know.
Yeah, night and
So I
day,
think, to,
night and day,
yeah,
absolutely. And you think about it, was almost like a couple of seconds away from knocking out Kovalev as well. Very close to
and that's the
becoming world
other thing.
champion.
Yeah, I mean, look, he did well in the Kovalev fight, but I don't. I've said this. I've said this to other people. I think people get carried away with what a trainer can do, and with Tunde and Yard, you're getting in the ring against Kovalev. He's much more experienced than you. Then there's only so much you can do. So there's no shame in losing that fight. There's no shit, but he performed very well. If you look at other people like Andre Ward, yeah, but Andre Ward was Olympic gold medalist. And if you've had 12 amateur fights, listen, I've sparred people that have had 10 amateur fights. I'm not saying they're not challenges, but someone that's had 12 amateur fights, you're not taking on Olympic level boxers. Because to me, I'd say I'm good enough to take on people that have had 12 amateur fights. I'm not, like, right now, I'm not good enough to take on people of like Olympic level, or not even Olympic, take ABA level. So what I'm trying to say about Andre Ward, he had a much better amateur career. He took on a much higher level of opponent. So you got to bear that in mind with Yard. He hasn't had the same level of competition. And I mean, who else has Kovalev been in? He's been in with Hopkins. Hopkins walked like Kovalev's no joke. So I think Yard did very well in that fight. But on paper, he was always going to lose it. I don't care who trains you. So yeah, I just think Tunde's underrated, if I'm honest.
Who do you say is the best light heavyweight in Britain? Would you say Yardage? Would you say Joshua Barratzi is?
I'll have to say Yard because it's difficult to say who's the best because they're not fighting each other. You got Callum Johnson. You got
Callum
I don't know
Smith.
if Callum Smith's still yeah. Those guys are all in the mix. I think Yard's very impressive, but if you're talking about the best light heavyweight, I don't know, probably one of those lot. So you've got Buatsi Yard, Callum Smith, Callum Johnson, Dan Aziz. I'd like to see these guys fight each other. Like we need to see more fights in boxing.
Yeah. At the moment, for me, Yards is our best light heavyweight because he's fought the best competition as of now. Bartzi's second, but for me, Yard is number one, and Bartzi's second.
Yeah, you could probably say that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because the way his
Um,
performances against Kovalev, because Bartzi's hasn't fought anyone at the level of Kovalev yet.
no, no.
Anyway, I was going to say, what do you think of the Mick Collins versus Lee Wood fight? Yes, you did a press conference for that one.
Yeah, I saw a couple of clips. I didn't go to it, but I think it's a decent fight. And I'll be honest, I don't think I can really pick a winner because I don't know a lot about them guys. I haven't seen a lot of their fights. But I think it's a good competitive fight, and yeah, I look forward to it. I might try and go to the fight, but then I got a couple of friends that are fighting in London on the same night, so I'll see. I might go or I might not.
Well,
But
that's Nottingham. Yeah, Nottingham. Okay, that's the 12th. Yeah, 12th. I'm at the 12th. Yeah, Nottingham. Okay.
I think the other main topic I can think of for today. Have you seen the stuff that Audley Harrison's been talking about?
What are you saying?
Do you follow Audley Harrison on Twitter?
Yeah, you see my tweets. I try to get an interview with him.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, but if you've just been keeping track of him, that's what I mean. Yeah, I mean, it's the problem with Audley though. Like some of these videos he did, one of the videos was a live video. It's like 4 hours long, and I'm like, come on, Audley. Like, who's got the time to watch a 4 hour long interview? Flipping hell. Well, I haven't seen it.
Thing with
I saw that.
Audley, I'll be honest with you. I have a love-hate relationship with Audley. I love it,
Why?
because he did a lot for boxing in terms of win the gold medal, be the first boxer to win a gold medal in a long time. Built a lot of attentions, especially to the funding of the amateur, him and Amir Khan. But Audley never proved himself at what level. Every time he stacked up, he always lost badly. Like all that talk against David Hay, like the same David Price and Deontay Wilder performed badly. He never, when he was really nitty gritty, he always lost poorly. He always talked a good game. Fair enough, he lost, but never tried. He always came really scared and never tried. They put in 110%. That's why I always have a love hate relationship with Audley. Cause I really, oh my God, when he fought David Hay, I was one of the few people who supported him to actually beat David Hay because I liked him. I'm never a massive Hay fan, to be honest. I'm never a massive David Hay fan. I was one of the guys who wanted to Audley to, do the unthinkable and beat Hay, but he let me down badly. So I can never. There's a time I take him seriously. Sometimes I don't take Audley seriously because he never proved himself at what level. He always came short, and when he came short badly.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, I don't mind him. I like him. But the thing with the stuff he said, I don't know why people are so harsh on him. Because a lot of boxers say things, and
I think
how
because
can
he
I
never
explain?
tried. When
Oh,
he
okay.
goes tough, gets those the biggest fights were really okay. Eventually, the loss against Danny Williams and Michael Sport. Fair enough. We're European title. When he got his good opportunity against David Hay, he never tried. that was one of the worst heavyweight fights in history. He never tried. Same with David Price. Same with
Deontay Wilder.
he always came scared. He never really tried. When he go against, he never put pen to paper and like give it like if he went out, goes like the way Fury try against Deontay Wilder, the way if what's the name, Joshua tried against Klitschko. You never got that type of performance that all he did compared to other fighters. He never really tried when he go against tough. He never put his gun shield and just went for it. Just went for it. And that's why his legacy will never be. He always be shoulda, coulda, another. He came with Olympic medals, fair enough, but he never really when he had the opportunity to fight David Haye for the world title, he never went for it. That's what I'm saying. He never proved himself to be a guy with heart when it comes to the big boys.
I agree. I agree with you. That's one fighter that, yeah, you could say he was scared. I agree with that. I don't know, but I won't hold it against him because I remember when he fought David Haye. That was like 10 years ago. So no, not even that. It was over 10 years ago. Even though I was young, I knew he was going to lose because you look at the guy's characteristics. You look at he lost like every second of he lost the spot fight, the rematch. And if it wasn't for that punch that came out of nowhere, so I said, if you're performing like that against Spot, you're not really going to beat David Haye. So what I'm trying to say, do you think people are a bit harsh on Audley? Because if you watch boxing, obviously you do, you should be able to judge whether someone's words are accurate.
Fair enough. Only might have been not been the caliber fighter like a Haye or Deontay Wilder, but he never tried. It looked like he never tried to win. He came to the ring defeated already. His eyes, his demeanor, he was scared. He never tried. Like Danny Williams against Vitaly Klitschko, that's a massacre. You watch that fight. Danny Williams versus Vitaly Klitschko, that's a monster massacre. But at least Danny Williams tried. He was always lead, but at least Danny Williams tried to fight Klitschko. Whereas Harris never tried to fight, defeat David Haye. The one thing not being a good fighter, but he tried. At least Danny Williams tried. Even David Chisora tried to fight Klitschko when he fought Vitaly. But Harrison, when he fought the big boy, he never tried, never really went for it. Never put his heart in and went for it.
But I don't know, I do agree with you, but I just think it's just life. I don't hold it against him. I mean, if you interviewed him, I think he's very stubborn about giving interviews. He doesn't give interviews unless he thinks you're famous. But I mean, is it something you hold against him, or say you did interview him? Do you think you might take to him a bit more?
I'll ask him. I think you came for nothing. You became Olympic gold medalist. You did a lot for life, but I just think you never tried when it comes to the big boys. I just think you came in short when it comes to the tough fights. The big boys in the division. I just think you never tried. I think you just came in scared. That's my honest truth.
No, it is. I'm not denying it is, but I just think it's just up to him. It's your life. Like, I just think when some of his fights were okay, but when he got in with certain people, then as you say, he'd sort of let them get into his heads, especially the David Haye fight. I mean, come on, you should have at least throw something, at least just grit your teeth but it's not something I hold against him because it's your life. Like you're gonna have to, you spend the rest of your life now. You're gonna think back. I woulda, coulda, shoulda.
I think he lacked heart. Harris lacked heart when it comes to the really big fights, the big fights. He lacked heart.
I probably agree. I won't say it's not the fact they're big fights, but it's the fact these opponents were a level above, and he'd sort of, as you say, he'd sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, he'd get in there.
Came in gun shy, really good gun shy.
No, I don't think it's that. In my opinion, once he got in there, maybe before the fight, he genuinely thinks he's going to win. But then once he gets in there and realizes how good these people are, especially David Haye. Like, I'm telling you, David Haye. Obviously, I know you sparred a little bit. In my opinion, I think people like David Haye are one of the most. They're some of the most difficult people to fight. So if you got someone that's that quick, it's like, how can you describe it? Speed kills. And I think once he realized how quick David Haye was, he just didn't want to. He got scared. So I'm not going to deny that. You know, like even with me, I'm not trying to show off, but when I
guess you're more forgiving than I am. I was so hyped up. I was one of the few people that supported Audley to be here. I was one of the few because all my friends laughed at me like, you're silly boy supporting Audley House and Foley House and get the haymaker. I'm like so disappointed. I knew he would lose against Hay, but I just thought he would at least. I was more disappointed he didn't try to go for it. Try.
Yeah, but I just think you're being a bit harsh. That's on him. Yeah, mess your life. That's what I'd say. Like with me, it's just someone else's life. All you can do, like when he got in there with David Haye and these guys, you've had how many amateur fights? You've had how many pro fights? You've sparred how many people? You should know what to do. So if you want to hold back, that's up to you. But now you've held your own life back. So that's your
especially
responsibility.
one of my pet peeves of boxing. I hate when boxers talk, but never back you up. Because I love trash talking, but one of the things I hate when you talk a good game, you talk, you're gonna do. You never follow up. You don't do a goddamn thing. I don't all they did with especially David Haye fight.
Yeah, but you know boxing, but you should know better than that. I don't take people seriously about what they say. This whole Fury Whyte situation. The only reason, obviously, you know, I answered your questions, but I don't really care what those lot do. If the fight happens, I'll watch it, but I don't take people by what they say, you know. And the thing about you can say what you want to say in boxing, but once you get in there, it's a different situation altogether, you know. So obviously, I'm not defending Audley. I agree with you, but I don't really take anything boxers say seriously. And with Audley, but you could see his career, you can see his characteristics. Boxers generally they do the same thing over and over in fights. They've got certain habits, and with him, he was never the bravest. So it's up to him, though. You've only got yourself to blame. But if I was in that situation, if I was fighting for the heavyweight title, obviously not even the heavyweight, but if I was fighting at that or any level, you should be going in there with a mentality that I'm going in there 100%. And if you don't, that's up to you.
And again, every time I lost, all the excuses are I got injured, I got this and that. Oh, come on. Injured.
I'm not defending it. I'm not defending him, but that's the way boxing is. Everyone's always making excuses. You know, like with me, I lost my last fight. But I don't think I lost it. But it is what I got dropped. But I just accept it. I'm not going to make any excuse. You know, I've got a fight next month. I'd love to rematch the guy that beat me, and that's that. But with boxing, the industry, it's like there's always but it's because of this, it's because of that. It's like take Anthony Joshua, just a quick example. But then it's not even Joshua himself, but a lot of the people in boxing, they're quite dumb, and because they pick so many reasons. To me, the reason Joshua lost to Usyk's a more developed fighter than you. That's it. But when you got people saying, "Oh, this happened or that happened," or what was it, the Andy Ruiz fight? Oh, Joshua wasn't himself. So what happens when you're creating this narrative? Boxers are gonna run with it. To me, the reason he lost to these guys, like you just weren't brave. You were scared. Even with me, when I got dropped by Kell Brook, I could have got up if I wanted to. I just didn't really fancy it because every time I got up, he was going harder and harder. I could have if I wanted. I just thought I've had enough. So that's what I'm trying to say about Audley. You decided once you got in there, you just decided. You know what? I don't want it. You know.
Yeah, I remember in an interview where and the reason why I only took the Hay fight, other than obviously for the world title, because He said I went to the fight injured, but it was a big payday, and I couldn't afford to do the payday. So again, I guess like saying I go on a fight. I know I'm gonna lose the fight. I guess he knew he would lose this hay, but the money was too much to turn down.
Yeah, I'm not defending him, but yeah, I don't know the exact situation, but yeah, I mean there are the sort of complications. If they obviously sometimes that happens, they don't want to miss out on the opportunity. Especially David Haye. When David Haye fought Tony Bellew, like everyone in boxing knows that Haye's leg was done
Yeah.
before the fight. Obviously, Haye needed the money. So just to give you some quick examples,
Again, those belly fights gave me a lot of respect for Haye. I lost a lot of spot for Haye the way the whole Klitschko fiasco went, but that him fighting Bellew, the way that the fight ended gave me a lot of newfound respect for Haye. You could show me Haye has heart.
it showed a lot of guts. Yeah,
And I
to me,
never
it
saw
showed a.
that heart that I got saw from Haye. I never got a heart for Harrison. Never.
Yeah, but he never showed it. No, but I'm not. I agree with you. I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's just boxing, isn't it? That's just you can only do the best you can. But I'd say I don't want to go into too much detail, but I'd argue why was Harrison even given the opportunity to fight him? So you have that fight against Michael Sprott, and then you jump into a world title fight. But everybody, if you remember, everyone.
It was on the slot. It was an easy payday. I guess a big name in British boxing. Haye knew it was just marketing tactic, just an easy payday. I guess a name, a big name in British boxing for Haye, just easy payday
No, but
basically.
I'm not blaming David Haye, but I'm blaming boxing because why is Aubrey Harrison even in there? If you look at football, I don't know as much about football, but at the end of the football season, if it's the FA Cup or the Premiership, the two best teams face off against each other in the final. Now, if you're fighting for the world heavyweight title, it should be someone that's world class, that's coming off good performances. Harrison's not coming off good performances. So to me, why was he even allowed in the ring? So I'm not blaming him because he's not going to say no. But why does boxing allow these things to take place? Take Chris Eubank recently. Why is Chris Eubank fighting people that are 100-1? He should be fighting people like Liam Williams. So I'm not overly defending Audley, but I'm just trying to get people to think about different things.
There's other people to blame. Yeah, there's obviously House is a world class elite fighter, and Ollie House is a British level fight at best.
Yeah. Also, I'm not defending him. I agree that he put
I
up a
understand
bad
where you're coming from.
performance. He shouldn't have been in there, but I do agree with you. Obviously, he's got himself to blame. At least just go out swinging. I mean, you're going to get hit. It's boxing. Just try and land something,
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Just speaking now. So you're definitely going to the next conference. What are you thinking? Which one? You going to the so what's the next conference you're going to again? The next press conference?
I'm not sure yet, but I'll probably try and go to one of the matchroom ones in February.
The thing is that Danny Jacobs against John Whyte is that next the 12th, and then it's not
Ali Pali,
yeah.
Alexandra
You gonna
Palace.
go to that one?
I might try. Actually, I might just try and go to the fight.
Is it far from where you live?
Just jump on the train. It's not a big deal.
Where you live again? Is it Forest Hill you live?
No, Stratford.
Is that
So
where
it's not like I think Alexandra Palace. I probably just jump on the train. I can get there.
Stratford? Is that where what's his name live? Addy on a
Oh
pedo?
yeah, I think he does. He told me once. Yeah, I think he does.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I actually I've got a surprise. I'll tell you Wednesday. I got a big surprise for you Wednesday. A big nice surprise on Wednesday. I'll let you know Wednesday afternoon. I got a big surprise for you. I'll text you. I'll show you the picture once I go.
What is it? You want me to guess or?
Oh, you find out Wednesday. It's only 2 days now. You find out Wednesday. I got a big surprise.
Alright,
Most likely you'll go. It's a bit one of the big boxing events. But you find out Wednesday if I'm going to or not.
alright, no problem.
Okay, man. Anyways, trying to think now anything else in boxing. In terms of, oh yeah, what do you think of Keith Haring? I forgot. Yeah, Keith Haring fighting on Friday as well. Keith Haring, is it Mario Barros?
Oh yeah, Keith Thurman's fighting.
His first fight in almost 3 years against Manny Pacquiao. What that fight is that going to be? Where do you see that fight going? Is it going to be knockout, stoppage, points? How do you see Thurman, beating Barrios, or will he beat Barrios? He should do.
Yeah, he should do. Like, I haven't really seen a lot of barriers, if I'm honest. But
He's the one that
Keith
fought
Thurman's.
Tank Davis. Got
Yeah, I'm
stopped.
not sure. I haven't seen it. But what do you think of Barrios? Have you seen him? Have you seen his fights?
Not much of him. I'm pretty sure that's the one that fought Tank not too long ago. Got stopped by Tank in the 10th round when he fought.
Oh, is it okay?
I think he's moving up 2 weight divisions as well. Let me just find out. That's the same. I think it's the same guy that fought Tank.
I can check. Well, listen, I think Furman's a good fighter. He's world class, but
Yeah, he is.
obviously,
Yes, he's the one that fought Tank last year.
oh, is he?
He's
Okay.
moving up 2 weight divisions from lightweight to welterweight. Wow, it's a big jump. Big jump in class.
So I didn't even realize. But in that case, he's probably going to be Furman's probably going to be too big and strong.
He's just stopping it in mid to late rounds, definitely. If Fair's not washed up, there should be a stoppage minimum.
Yeah, it looks like it's too much of a size division, size difference.
If Fairman beats Barrios, we should do. Do you reckon Fairman will fight Crawford? Because probably he'll fight Crawford after he beats Barrios. That's his plan.
No, but that's just talk. I don't take what fighters say seriously unless they actually do it. A lot of fighters just talk nonsense. Like it's weird where, look, I'm not saying fighters are scared. I'm not saying that, but the perception I get is that they don't, if they think a fight's dangerous, they won't do it unless they think there's a lot of money in it. So the thing with him and Crawford, I think Crawford's a very dangerous fight for him. I'm not saying Furman's scared, but Furman's probably going to look at that fight and he's going to say, I want a lot of money, but he's going to price himself out. So I don't take these things seriously unless it actually happens. The only person in boxing you can trust is me. Because like I said, if I went to Crawford's gym, I want to go to America this year, I'd have no problem going up to Crawford and, hey, Crawford, like, could I spar you for that? Like, I'll do it. But obviously, it depends if he wants to do it. But what I'm saying with a lot of fighters, they might say that, but they're not going to do it unless they think there's money in it. What about you? Do you think he was serious in what he said?
I think you fight Crawford just for the page and just for a cash out fight. I think Crawford is heading towards the end of his career. I think Crawford, this could be his last 1 or 2 years left in Firm's career. I don't think he's got long left. I think he'll fight Crawford just for a cash out fight.
Yeah,
he's either going to fight
right.
Crawford or he's going to fight Crawford or he's going to fight what's his name?
Spence.
Yeah, winner of you guys Spence, definitely.
I'm just not convinced with Keith though, because obviously he's been out all this time. I'm not going to believe he's going to fight those sort of people unless I see it. But talk's talk. Like, I mean, all this stuff, Dylan Whyte, Fury, Mayweather, Pacquiao, they talked about it for 5 years. Khan Brook, they've been talking for over 10 years. Like, I don't take what fighters say seriously unless they actually do it. But I don't really talk.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. I wonder who would be easier for you to fight, Ty and Booth or Spencer Fearon? Those people that you got a bit of you know, I'm not sure beef.
It-
I would say what's the right word?
mm, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't say I don't know, dislike.
Speaking of Spencer, why okay? What I know he had it was because of the issue back in the day with Frank Warren's son, Francis Warren, that you two fell
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Well, I'll keep it short. But all it was, I said some things about Francis on camera, who's Frank Warren's son, and then Spencer jumped on Twitter, and he's attacking me, and he's saying, "Oh, I'll never do a video with you unless you publicly apologize to Francis." So I exposed him. So I said, don't do a video with me. I don't care about you. Because at that time, I'd recently sparred Tyson Fury on camera. So I said, I don't need you. Like, I just sparred Tyson Fury recently. And I said, but if you're telling me to apologize to Francis, but you're the one that told me the personal things about Francis, which I then revealed on camera. So I was like, who are you to say that I have to apologize? And when I said that, when Francis found out that Spencer's the one that told me certain things about Francis and his family, from that day, that was 2012, from that day, Francis and Spencer, they haven't spoke since. So, yeah, maybe I'll go into it more another time, but a lot of people in boxing, they're very annoying. And when you're dealing with someone like me, see, they think they can control you. You can't control me. I don't care. Because they're trying to tell me I'm not going to do any videos with you. I don't.
So what made you
They,
think that is past? So I didn't know this. I didn't know this till you told me. Till I found out watching a new video that Spencer went to prison way back before dealing drugs.
yeah,
So that's true.
yes.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's what annoyed me at the time because it's like you're judging me because of things that I said about people. But the things I said it because I was provoked. And the thing is, yeah, when you were my age, you were in prison for dealing drugs. So like, who are you to judge me? I only talk about people if I'm provoked. I don't like even you, yeah, take yourself, yeah. I'm not I'm not trying to look down on you or anything. But obviously you've got a small channel. I don't mean to be arrogant. I don't need to give you the time of day. Because even let me finish it. Obviously, I'm not trying to say anything. I got an email yesterday. No, sorry, I got an email today for the Liam Williams Chris Eubank fight week. I could go to the press conference if I wanted to. So I'm not being rude, but I don't really need to talk to you. I could get access to people like Booth and Eubank and this week if I wanted to. But what I'm trying to explain, I hope I'm not coming across as arrogant. I'll talk to anyone. I don't care how many followers you've got. But what I've noticed about people in boxing, and tell me if I'm wrong, if they get a following, they start becoming arrogant. You think you're better than people. So all it is with me and Spencer, it's not beef or anything, but it's like you've got my mobile number. We talk on the phone, so don't go exposing me on Twitter. If you've got something to say, just pick up the phone. So that's why I reacted like that. But I don't say things about people like even now. It's only if I get provoked. So this is the thing about people, but they'll provoke you, and then when you react, oh, there's no. Well, don't provoke me then, because there's nothing. You can't really threaten me with, oh, we're not gonna let you come to press con. I don't care. I get on very well with Matchroom. I don't care about going to Frank Warren press conferences. Same with the Tyson Fury versus Dylan Whyte fight. I don't care if I go or not. I've got my own life. I've got things that I'm trying to do. If I was to go to the Tyson Fury fight, it's just a quick, like, you know how much money that's going to cost me? It's going to cost me hundreds of pounds for the ticket if you want a decent seat. Then on top of that, it's the money that I'm going to lose from not going to work. On top of that, the money is going to cost me traveling there. On top of that, the money is going to cost for the hotel. So I could go if I wanted, or I
All
could just
that
stay
money
at
put
home.
into Frank Warren's wallet. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I don't want to do that. See what I mean? But listen, I've got no. If you meet people in boxing, you're gonna see for yourself. Like they're very, and look, it's not even. I'm being objective. I understand boxing is it's a very difficult sport. There's a lot of pressure, and Eddie Hearn says this a lot. It changes you as a person. But a lot of them, I'm not even blaming them, but a lot of people in boxing are very stressed, and they behave towards people in a way that they shouldn't. You remember what happened with Bob Arum? You remember when he shouted at the journalist?
Yeah.
But this is what I'm trying to say. You shouldn't have spoke to him like that. And if it's someone like me, I'm not. You can't threaten me with we're gonna ban you. You talk to me like that, I'll react. It's not in a violent way, but I'm not gonna have it. Keep your credentials. I don't want it that bad. You know. So here's what I'm trying to say. It's not because they're used to dealing with people like Coogan that they can bully. I wouldn't do it. Nah, I'm not letting you treat me like that. How about you? Would you be able to take it? If you feel people are trying to say people are trying to mug you off to your face, would you put up with it or would you stand up for yourself?
I stand up for myself. Like, you are you, man. You're only a human being. I don't care how big you are, man. You're only human. I'm being kind to you, be kind to me, be respectful. Someone else, I have the right
Yeah.
to be disrespectful to me. Just because you got 100,000 subscribers, I don't. Who cares?
Yeah, but all I'm saying, I wish everyone in boxing all the best, but I just rather keep myself to myself anyway. And I'm not having a dig, but the thing with people like Coogan and Michelle, and I know I keep using their names, it's not a dig at them, but what they do, their style is up to them. But see, a lot of people in boxing, they make assumptions. Like that's not what I want to do. I don't want to interview every single person. I'm not interested. Like you take what they do, like take people like Ebony Bridges and Clues. It's not interviewing these people doesn't really mean anything to me. Okay, I'll give you a quick example. Yeah, tell me if I'm wrong. Let's just say, do you think there's a chance I could spar David Hay this year?
No,
A
I'm like,
chance?
no,
Why not?
I don't. I just no. Maybe I just no. Maybe I think you got a bigger chance of maybe David Chisel than Hay. I think Hay's more exclusive.
All right. Say I spar. All right, let's just say I spar David Hay. I'll tell you why I'm picking David Hay. First of all, years ago we almost sparred, but then obviously had a fight coming up. So then he obviously he wasn't really going to spar me in camp. I'm not lying, like it almost happened, but then his fight got announced. What I'm trying to explain, for argument's sake, say I spar David Hay this year. In my opinion, here's another question: if I spar David Hay on camera, would you agree that's going to get a lot of mainstream attention?
That'll be your biggest. That could go viral. That's your biggest video just fun YouTube channel. That you take your channel
So,
to the stratosphere. If you could do that,
so
that'll take your
this is
channel to
what
the
I'm trying to.
stratosphere.
So this is what I'm trying to explain for anyone that watches my channel. If you think I'm trying to become the next Coogan or Michelle, I'm not. What they've done, that's good for them. I wish you the best of luck. When Michelle got in there with Billy Joe Saunders, we saw what happened. She started crying. When Coogan got in there with these, like, he don't want to get in with people. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not judging him. What I'm trying to do, if I can try and get that one big sparring session,
No, okay.
I
That's
want
your Prince Patel. You would try it with your Prince Patel if you're like 8 foot 8 stone, 5'4", or 5'6". How tall? Anyways, I get your point. That's your Prince Patel. Yeah, he won't doesn't want it. Doesn't want that smoke.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Prince Patel, he's not someone that I'd want to interview. I'd spar him, but so what I'm trying to say, I've got a different approach to boxing but I've got different things I want to do. I want to go to different countries. I want to go to Africa. I want to do documentaries. I want to interview presidents and dictators. So these people in boxing that think I just want to interview boxers, I don't. It's not worth. It's not worth the time. Someone like Eubank, forget Eubank Junior. I would love to spar Eubank Senior, and that's another one. Imagine if I sparred him. Would you agree that's going to get mainstream attention?
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to do. So I don't really care about press credentials or Just if I can just get one big sparring session with whoever you want to name, Eubank, Nigel Benn, whoever I can get, that's what I'm focused on right now. Plus, I'll fight as well. So I've got my fight next month. But I promise, I'm not making any digs at anyone. If that's what you want to do with your life, that's up to you. But I don't want to do what IFL do. I don't want to interview boxers. It's boring. I want to interview prime ministers. Like I want to interview Boris Johnson someday. I want to interview Theresa May. I want to
Yeah, I can
interview.
see you want to be you're trying to be like more like Joe Rogan, like Larry King, much more mainstream, Howard Stern, like diverse in terms of you interview.
Yeah. But look, and this I've got time for anyone because I want. It's like we've all got dreams. Like, I want to play basketball on camera with Michael Jordan, LeBron James. I want to play tennis on camera with Serena Williams. Like, why limit yourself to one thing? So, people like Coogan, if that's what you want to do, that's up to you. But I'm 31. I think Coogan's about 10 years older. I don't want to spend the rest of my life interviewing, but it's boring. The only boxer I can think of that I'd be desperate to interview, apart from Mike Tyson, because most boxers, it's boring. Like, you take Ebony Bridges. What am I going to talk to her about? So, Ebony, what are you going to wear at your next weigh-in? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not something I really want to do with my life. And especially, and this is the last thing I'll say, I think a lot of boxing fans are dumb. Because if you saw that interview I did with Eddie Hearn, I had less than 12 minutes. And I'm still annoyed. So basically, I got a lot of comments on there saying, oh, Michael, you didn't ask any hard questions and you didn't bring the same energy. But I'm like, I had less than 12 minutes. I was about to start asking him hard questions, but then obviously he had to go. So I'm still annoyed about that because it's like they're trying to tell me that I have to grill Eddie Hearn. I don't mind doing it, but why me? Coogan's had 10 years of interviews. You've got people like Tony Bellew. You've got Conor Benn. These guys are around Eddie Hearn 24/7. So what I'm trying to get at, I think boxing fans they're ungrateful and they're quite annoying. So this is the real reason why I don't want to go to press conferences. I could go, but I'm like, why should I inconvenience my life for you lot? Like, if I'm honest, because I'm like, if you watch that interview, they try, oh, Michael, you didn't ask any hard questions. Like, I had less than 12 minutes. I'm not scared of anybody. I forget what's his name, Daniel Kinahan. I'm not even scared of Daniel Kinahan. But if I go up to Daniel Kinahan and say, can I interview you? Why is he going to say yes? Same with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn's got over 1 million Twitter followers. The fact that I even got an interview with him, I should be getting credit for that. But ever since that, I've just it's turned me off interviews. Because the thing, all I say, I don't need to go on so much, but I've said things about Eddie Hearn on camera where I've criticized certain choices he's made. But look, when you're in front of someone, it's different because nobody's just going to stand there and let you. So I'm still pretty annoyed about that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
Just interviewing fighters. But you seem pretty tired.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm just good. I'm good. I want to but I don't know if I want to. Cause I'm trying to. I'm careful. Cause I want to be. I don't want to be PC. I want to speak my mind, but I don't want to. I do want to interview more boxers. Hence why I'm being careful. Cause I had a crazy idea, maybe trying to get something with Italian Booth, but I don't know. That's too early, too soon. I can't take the risk.
Go for it. Just it's up to you if you want to interview him. He's on Facebook. That's how I used to contact him. I don't see the harm. Like, you could just message him, and it's up to him if he wants to get back to you or not.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm trying to be a balance. I'm trying to be informative and speak my mind, but I don't want to go like trying to go crazy. Why I turn people off and I don't get interviews with certain people. Boxers. A lot of people are very fickle in boxing. If you say one thing,
But all I'll say, the last thing I'll say, look, just take life a day at a time, be yourself. But a lot of boxers, look, I'll finish off for today because I see you're tired. I'll give you more details next time. But
Yeah.
a lot of boxers, they're very easily, it's like, I can name names. It's like people like Dylan Whyte and Amir Khan, those are the two best examples. They don't like it if you pick against them. So for me, I'm not telling you what to do, but if I get any attitude from boxers, when I was younger, it was different. But these days, I don't really care. I'll do me, you do you. Simple. But I'm not gonna like Katie Taylor. I've seen some of her interviews where she said anybody who thinks Pearson beat her, they don't know boxing. I wouldn't take that. I'll tell her to her face, if you don't like what I say, just don't talk to me. But I'm not gonna let another human being tell me what I can and can't say. Simple. I'll tell you, if you don't like it, don't talk to me. But I'm not gonna let a fighter tell me I can't pick against them. But just find your style.
Yeah, like if I interview
do
Ollie Harrison, I'll just tell him. I think you should have done more of your career. I think you made millions, fair enough. But I think you should have tried. When you fought Hay and what's his name and Price and the Whyte. I just think you shot lacked heart. I just think you should have went out on your shield and went for it.
Yeah, but that's just telling the truth. Like, I'm not having a go at you. I'm not insulting you. But see, that's what I'm like. And if you don't like it, like if I was interviewing Harrison and he had a problem with something I said, but I'll tell him, if you want me to delete the interview, I'll delete it. Because to me, that's your intellectual property. If you want me to delete it, I respect your decision, but don't tell me what I can and can't say. Because like we can see it. Like I've been there. When I sparred Kell Brook, I didn't want to get up. I could have. I just thought, nah, not interested. So it's the same with you, yeah. You got in there and you just didn't want to. I'm not laughing. I'm not judging you, but I see it for what it is. So I like Audley. I really like him as a person. I wish him well, but but we all got eyes. Like I can see it. I've seen street fights happen. It's like when you can see that one guy doesn't want it. I saw a street fight once. Like, I'm not lying. I saw a guy. He got hit with one shot. He walked off, and then he started saying stuff from a distance. And I told him, I wasn't in the fight. I told him, just walk away. You lost the fight. Just walk away before it was a one-on-one, by the way. I said, if I was you, just walk away. Because if he runs after you, then you're on your own. I promise you, I'm not lying. Fight, it didn't even have anything to do with me. But it's like, I can see that you've lost the fight, but you're running your mouth off. Where was this energy when it was face to face? And he walked off. So that's what I say about Audley Harrison. Just, you didn't want it. You took a punch. You didn't want it. So it is what it is. It's not that big a deal. I like him as a person, and I wish him well. I hope he finds something in boxing. I hope he comes back as a manager or something. But yeah.
Anyways, guys, thanks for watching our Monday talk with Emperor Mike, myself and Emperor Michael, man. Anyways, we'll definitely have another video, hopefully, maybe late in the week or when you're next free.
Yeah, though, man. I always got time for anyone.
Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Adios, amigos. Bye now.